So, something crazy happened to me today about literally an hour ago, and I figured I need to tell this story because it's just insane, and I feel like weird things happen to me all the time, and I always think, oh my god, I need to tell someone about this. So that's what I'm doing. I'm telling you about this. I don't know if I did the right or wrong thing, so please don't give me hate in this video if I did the wrong thing, or just let me know in the comments if what I did was wrong. I don't know. So today's a Thursday. I'm super stressed out all day since 9 a.m. I have been dealing with some personal issues with work. I have some mail that has been delivered to the wrong address and it was signed for, which I did not sign for. So the post office showed me the signature. It's not my signature. I don't know if you can read it. That ain't my signature. What the frick is that? So I've been dealing with that with the post office, and they told me that here's the address where we think your mail is at. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna go to this address and I'm gonna confront them about signing for my package. And I get my phone ready because I'm like, I wanna make a video about this. I drive to the address and it ends up being a park. So no luck. And I'm kind of in a neck of the woods where I usually am not. So this is where this story takes a weird turn. As I'm driving down the road, this car coming towards me starts honking frantically. Like, so I think they're honking at me because naturally, like, I'm kind of a bad driver, so I feel like people are always honking at me. I'm like looking at them and they're looking at this girl that's walking next to them on the sidewalk. So my first instinct is, holy shiza, they are kidnapping this girl, or trying to. So I'm internally panicking and I make a quick U-turn and I start following this car. And this girl is just walking on the sidewalk, ignoring this car, frantically honking at her, and they're driving really slow too. So I'll insert footage here.
You've arrived at your destination.
So they end up making a U-turn into a neighborhood and stopping at a stop sign. And so I do the same, I go right behind them because I don't know what's going on. Like in my head, I'm thinking, if I can save this girl from getting kidnapped, then by golly, I'm gonna save her. So the car stops and this man and woman get out of the car and they're waiting for the girl to walk because she's walking by this residential area. And as she's walking by, they're like yelling at her. I roll down the window a little bit so I can hear, and he's like, get in the car, get in the car. And I'm thinking, holy crap, like I have all this on dash cam. What is going on?
Right now, my daughter's supposed to be going to therapy, and she's trying to jump out of the car, taking her to therapy.
Okay.
Okay, that's my wife. That's my daughter. She's 16.
Yeah, I was just concerned because I saw that.
I do appreciate that 100%.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how to control her. You know, we can't.
Yeah.
I don't know what her problem is. I mean.
Yeah. Is she safe right now? Is she okay?
Yeah, she's safe, but I just need her to get in the car so we can go home.
Right.
Okay. I just got her from school and I was going to take her to therapy. She's like, I'm not going, I'll jump out of the car. Not for 1 second did I believe him. I don't know why. Like, I guess my intuition is just like,
really great, but I did not believe him for a second because the way that he was talking, he was like, she's my daughter, like trying to convince me that this girl is his daughter. Like, I don't know, like my like motherly instincts were kicking in, and I was like pretty much convincing him that, you know, if this is your daughter, then I'll go and I'll talk to her.
So she's tried while the car's rolling to jump out of the car.
Well, I'm 24 years old and I'm a female. I feel like it might be easier for me to maybe talk to her.
Yeah,
if you
sure.
would like.
No,
for
I
me
don't
to talk
mind at
to
all.
her.
That's her mother, and her name is...
I'll see if I can go talk to her just to make sure she's okay.
Right. I mean, she's saying all kinds of derogatory, negative things, blah, 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 which is what she might tell you is not going to be true.
Right.
You know, like, I'm a bad person, I do this.
So I go and I follow her and I see her down the road and I stop by and the first thing I ask her is, are these your parents? Are they your parents? Yeah. Okay, because I didn't believe that for a second and I thought they were like trying to kidnap you. So I genuinely like was about to follow you to make sure that you're okay. Okay. Do you need a ride or anything?
No, I'm just gonna walk home.
I don't know why she got in the car with me. I feel like this is where I don't know if I messed up or not, because I mean, I very well could have been a bad person, but she trusted me and I'm really glad that she did, because during that whole car ride, I talked to her and I got to know her, and not only were they actually her parents, which is amazing because I was, you know, really scared that it was someone pretending to be her dad. Looks like my intuition is terrible after all, but what was kind of almost like a coincidence to me was the fact that I have gone through something so similar, and I had wished that someone who was in a situation like how I am now would talk to me when I was 16 years old about what kind of was going on. You know, during that car ride, we talked about school, we talked about family, depression, anxiety, taking medicine, therapy, and it was just insane how much I could relate to her. It was as if that I was talking to my 16-year-old self, and I don't know about you, but I don't believe in coincidence. And to me, it was just so bizarre that what are the odds that I was driving down the street and this dad and mom were having this terrible argument with their daughter, and she was, you know, she basically hopped out of a moving car just to get away from them. And I was right there to kind of, in a way, protect her, which I don't know if that was the right thing to do. But in that short 10-minute span where I talked to her in the car, taking her home, we just had this heart-to-heart. And I was, you know, telling her about my life and the brief synopsis that I could about what I've gone through, and, you know, listening to your parents. And not only that, but if her parents were wanting her to go to therapy so bad, that at least shows that they care. And, you know, maybe they're not going about it the right way. Maybe they were abusive in some way. I don't know her family at all. But what I do know is that if they wanted her to go to therapy and if they are seeking for her to get help, then that's at least some sort of a step in the right direction. You know, I was telling her that when I was 16, I was suicidal and I was at such a low point. I just felt like there was no point in living. You know, I had this passion, this dream of being a photographer, of being somebody, of being a filmmaker, but I just couldn't see it because I was so clouded with everything that was going on with my family and with school, and just so much anxiety and depression that I just wanted it all to end. I just wanted to kill myself so bad. And I can say that now, knowing very well that I don't have those issues anymore. And I'm so open to talk about depression because I think it's something that's so stigmatized. It's something that we don't talk about enough and normalize. And I think we should be having these conversations about having thoughts of killing yourself. It's not something that you just hide in the closet and you don't want anyone to know that you're feeling this way. I think it's something that you need to tell your friends, tell your family, and get the help that you need. There were so many times where I left the house very well wanting to kill myself, having a plan, writing down, executing a way that I was going to end my life. And had I have had some random girl, you know, drive down the street and be like, hey, do you want to get in my car and let's talk? And we just talk, and she convinces me not to kill myself. Like, what in the world? Like, that's just, how can coincidence happen? Maybe it does, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe, I don't know.
Someone could have like picked you up. That wasn't me. I'm like the stranger in the car, like a stranger could have picked you up and I'm the stranger.
That's crazy though, that she picked me up and like we had so much in common.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, I know, I really don't believe in coincidence. Like, I honestly think that everything happens for a reason and that maybe I was supposed to be here to pick you up.
Now you're like freaking me out because I kind of do too. And I want to go to.
Oh, I go to I saw I was like, oh my god. Oh my gosh.
So I ended up giving her my number, and I told her that if she ever needed someone to talk to, that I'm here for her. I got her name and I dropped her off at her house, and I drove away just thinking, like, obviously her parents are probably furious that she got in a car with a stranger. I did talk to her dad, so I mean, at least he kind of knew she was in somewhat good hands with a young girl. But again, maybe I stepped out of place by picking her up and taking her home. But part of me feels good about it because I just keep picturing my 16-year-old self in her and how much I would have appreciated that. So there's my story. I thought a girl was getting kidnapped. Turns out she just got out of the car and didn't want to go to therapy. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. If you want more story times from me or want to know more about my crazy life or my crazy past or whatever, I don't know, then just let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you some other time. And I don't know when that's going to be because I just kind of randomly make videos and upload them. So if you're sticking around, thanks.